What's going on out there, peeps? Okay, so, wow, Al Kademi is without a doubt draining the Iraqi swamp. He wants to make Iraq great again. This guy has really been full steam ahead, literally, since he has taken office, man. Very impressive. But before I get into those articles, I want to address something real quick, if you guys don't mind. Um, It was brought to my attention yesterday that Mark Z had mentioned me in his video. It was really nice of him. He was talking about my NESARA, GESARA videos, but I believe maybe he was just getting a checkup. I don't know if he's sick or not, but either way, hopefully it is just a checkup and he's doing fine. Um, but I don't know what's going on with these the people that are called Dinar gurus. They seem to be getting sick lately, so that's sad. I know. Frank 26 was dealing with the sickness. I'm hoping Mark Z is not. I don't know them too well, but look, it's a small community. People get talked about, and so I'm hoping and praying that they are healthy people and they come out of this very healthy. As much as some of us might go back and forth at one another, these people have loved ones, and people who really care for them. And so my thoughts and prayers are out to the two gentlemen. Hopefully they are healthy and doing well, as well as any and all of you out there, that might be dealing with some hardships right now, financially or health. But yeah, it was brought to my attention. It looked like I just went and saw a small piece of it because somebody said, "Oh, he mentioned you." I was like, "Okay, let's go see." But nonetheless, yeah, if he's dealing with this sickness, Mark, sir, if you're dealing with this sickness, I hope you come out of this healthy. Um, if it's just a checkup, then good. Hopefully they find nothing and you're healthy. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I just want to acknowledge it because look, it's nobody. You don't want to wish anything ill on anybody. Not that I did. I'm just saying though. As I was watching the video, I think he was addressing having to get a checkup. So, like I said, hopefully, Mark, you're good, my friend. Anyway, so look, I have a Facebook group called Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. In here, we do talk about the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, NESARA, or not this one, it's not NESARA, NESARA. So this one here is investments, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. Over here in the hidden things in front of your eyes, that is NESARA, GESARA. I was putting it in the other group, but it starts to get political. And that's not the group for that. So let's keep the NESARA, GESARA over here in the hidden things in front of your eyes. We do talk about current events in here, as well as those things that most people consider conspiracy things, especially QAnon. QAnon is definitely talked a lot about in this group for those you are interested in it. Okay, so let's get checking into our boy Al Kademi. Cracking that whip. All right, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Al Kademi, we have information about the corrupt people in the ports who will be prosecuted legally. I read that and I'm like, as compared to being prosecuted illegally. So that's funny. I'm sorry, when I read that, it just makes me laugh. Okay, so Prime Minister Al Kademi conducted a tour of the, I believe it's pronounced Quasar Port in Basra Governance as part of an anti-corruption campaign at the border crossings. Remember, he's been really strict about doing what they need to do to stop a lot of these black market events taking place with people crossing back and forth and bringing contraband across the borders. According to the statement of information from the office of the Prime Minister he received, the general manager of the border outlets gave details presented on the reality of the southern, central, northern ports of Quasar, the mechanisms and procedures taken to facilitate the work there, and what was taken in light of the directives of the Prime Minister. So, look, there's a lot of corruption in the ports. It happens here in the United States. He directed a prime minister to protect the customs sanctuary in the ports by military forces and prevent any force or entry into these ports by force. He also directed to reduce complicated routine procedures and work to rotate employees to reduce the corruption, which I like this idea. It reminds me of why our politicians should only have term limits. It's because, if they're there too long, they start establishing relationships, and those relationships sooner or later become corrupt. A lot of our own politicians are guilty of that. So that's a great idea whenever I think you're working in places where there could be a high level of possibility of corruption, is to rotate the workers out so that nobody's been there so long that they get comfortable enough to have established a relationship like that. I like that idea, but that's what they're talking about being done in the ports. They've also been able to identify those individuals that they believe are corrupt. So we are looking for that to be. I would like to see these people get perp walks, to be honest with you. Al-Kadhimi indicated the country is going through a financial and economic crisis today, and the most important non-oil financial revenues that can support the state treasury comes from the ports and customs. But today we face a great challenge with regards to these implementers, which is an opportunity for the government to impose laws and orders in them. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but not too long ago, I was talking about how Trump asked Saudi Arabia to help Iraq with their biggest port there. That's actually like one of the gateways into doing international trade with the whole Middle East. So that port's very important. Of course, you got to pass Iran when you're going in there, but nonetheless, it is a big port that could bring a lot of great business, new business to the Middle East, and that includes Iraq. Okay, so the Iraq parliament is approaching the prosecution over huge sums wasted on the electricity sector. Here we go again. Look at again. So not only is he cracking down and prosecuting those individuals doing illegal things over in the ports, but now even in the electricity sector. Okay, the head of the investigation committee in charge of investigating the contracts of the Ministry of Electricity announced on Wednesday that the public prosecutor had audited the Ministry of Electricity contracts since the fall of the previous regime until now. Al-Kabi said during the press conference, in the presence of a number of deputies attended by the reporters, the committee formed under Parliamentary Order 62 by the Speaker of the House of Representatives in cooperation with Prime Minister Al-Kadhimi will have a meeting with the representatives of the public prosecution after the approval of the head of the judiciary. You know, remember when Al-Kadhimi was first being nominated, how a lot of members of the parliament were saying he couldn't investigate certain people? I don't know if he ever agreed to that, but he seems to be cracking down pretty good. Keep in mind, there was a video I did on an article where it said that Al-Kadhimi within 90 days was going to be changing out over 1,000 senior positions. So between that, him cracking down on the corruption in the ports and now in the Ministry of Electricity, it doesn't stop. He just keeps going. Man, he truly seems to be on the outside, making all the right moves, and seems to be a man of the people. Let's hope that continues. What we're looking for is the thumbs up from Blessheart, who's impressed with all this. Also, we need to get this Kurdistan agreement ironed out, and then Al-Kadhimi come here and let Donald Trump work the rest of the magic. So Al-Kadhimi announces 6 decisions from Basra. So what this is you don't want me to bore you by reading out. What this is there is a water project that's taking place. It's supposed to be one of the largest. So my guess is, and I'm only guessing, just so you guys are aware, I told you I did a video trying to figure out why Saudi Arabia, besides the obvious, was so interested in helping out Iraq. Well, the whole video explains that in Saudi Arabia, there is a huge water shortage, and it's going to be affecting the lives of the people that live out there in the desert. So they're talking about building one of the world's largest, if not the world's largest, reservoir, man-made, and then trying to get some of the water runoff from the rivers that go through Iraq. I mean, it runs all the way down to the ocean anyway, so if you have some of it ran off through some pipes, I mean, that's a huge project, but it's very doable. It would be interesting because this project seems to say that they're working on some type of water project that's going on over there. And so I'm wondering if that's what it is. And that in exchange for Saudi Arabia helping financially. Okay, so in conjunction with Al-Kadhimi's visit, demonstrations in Basra were flying the province's flag. Nice flag. So dozens of people went out of the city of Basra on Wednesday, demonstrated against the visit of Al-Kadhimi in the province. Why is that? Correspondents say that this demonstrations witnesses the rising of the flag of the Basra regime in front of the headquarters of Basra International Hotel. Huh. The correspondents added that the demonstrations refused to visit the Prime Minister and called on some demonstrators to investigate the issue of killing of protesters in previous demonstrations and demand payment of daily wages of $30,000 in state departments. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's already being done, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that his name, Fayyad, the guy that was the head of security? It was believed that he gave the orders for the protesters to be shot. It's already being investigated. So, I don't think you're going to have any problems there. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just not happening fast enough. So we will keep an eye on that. And in Washington, we will continue the dialogue with Iraq this month and reveal the reasons for deploying the Green Missile System. So the Green Missile System is going to be put over there near the Green Zone. As you guys are aware, there have been a lot of attempted attacks on the Iraqi airport, where a lot of our military men and women are serving and staying. And also in the Green Zone is where you see a lot of border crossings there as well. So it would be disruptive if that got closed down again. But nonetheless, the United States is going to deploy the Green Missile System in there. The Patriot system's there already. I don't know how good. Well, apparently it's doing good. They've been able to detect missiles and stop missiles from coming in. So we will keep an eye on that and see how things go. Baghdad and the regime face a common enemy after years of isolation. Okay, so yeah, we all know who that is. The ISIS gangs, as well as other armed gangs, continue to do what they're doing and try to wreak havoc over there during Al-Qadimi's attempt to clean up Baghdad. All right, so look, it looks good. This is what we're looking for. So look, we need to get this Kurdistan Baghdad agreement hammered out and signed. We love the fact that Al-Qadimi definitely seems to be taking care of corruption on a very mass level. Okay, we need to get the green thumbs gang, almost said it again. The thumbs up from our girl, Miss Blacksheart, over there in the United Nations. And you know, letting Trump know, as well as the people of here in the United States, that it looks like it's time to reinstate the sovereignty of Iraq and remove the restrictions. That's what we're hoping for. I told you this was going to be an interesting week. It definitely looks like it has been an interesting week. There is a lot of crackdown on corruptions. Miss Blacksheart has been there, and she looks very pleased so far. She gave a conference call to the UN saying things are looking good so far. So, again, big things are happening. Let's see what happens when Al-Qadimi gets here in the United States, and we hopefully get an announcement from Donald Trump that yes, indeed, we want to once again recognize the sovereignty of Iraq and remove the restrictions from the currency. That's what we want. And I think this would be a major blow, considering that the so-called deep state did indeed want Iran to take over the Middle East, and they would do business. So they would run the Middle East and everything that's going on there. If you really want to land a blow against the so-called deep state, you definitely want to reinstate that rate, because that helps a lot of people worldwide and really frees them from a lot of financial burden. And it also helps the Iraqi people out because it gives them more purchasing power. It also allows Iraq to go ahead and get the materials imported that they need to start infrastructure and really just start to become the mecca of the trading world, so to speak. All right, you guys, that's it for now. Again, still looking good, man. I'm impressed every time I read more and more about Al-Qadimi. He seems to be doing all the right things, at least in public. Let's hope it continues. All right, you guys, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.